promise me you'll get that infobot to Captain Quark.
I promise. Thanks for your help.
No problem. See you in the next reboot.
Hey there everyone, welcome to Crappy Reviews, the home of no rules reviews. And what's no rules reviews mean exactly? Well, it means whatever the hell I want it to mean. I don't adhere to any set professional standards. It's all raw and my own personal thoughts, and if you don't like it, don't watch. Pretty simple, but there's always some morons who don't understand what optional content is. With that being said, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the review. Today I'm reviewing Ratchet and Clank exclusively on the PlayStation 4. A quick little backstory on my history with the series. I played the original on the PlayStation 2 and I absolutely loved it. And I played the second one on the PS2 as well, and the series really stuck with me as a great experience. Jumped to the next generation and I got caught up playing a lot of new franchises, including Insomniac Games' Resistance series on PS3. So really I got into online competitive multiplayer games, and I didn't really play any of the Ratchet and Clank games on the PS3, and by the time I got around to getting back into the series, I had no idea where to jump in. There were a lot of Ratchet and Clank games released on the PS3, I believe 7 in total, 9 if you count the HD remake as 3 individual games. I was just never really sure where to play and where to pick up and play, you know, like I wasn't sure which order or anything like that, so I just decided not to play. Which brings us to the PS4 release, simply called Ratchet and Clank, and that's a brilliant move by Insomniac to bring back players like me who were completely lost in the franchise and where it was and where it was going. This reboot slash remake, the first game, basically is told over again, and it makes a grand introduction to attract new and old gamers alike, and you have a great recipe for success, and they've done a fantastic job with doing that. Now graphically, this is probably the most appealing looking game on the PlayStation 4. The graphics are stunning, and you have Pixar quality characters, level designs, and the highest attention detail paid to the quality of what goes into around you and your surrounding environments and things like that. The one negative I found was the motion blur, which I believe was to make up for the fact that the game runs at 30 frames per second, whereas the originals were 60 frames per second. But most of the time, it's not really a big deal at all, but it could bother some people who are prone to noticing things like that. Overall, the performance held up incredibly well, and that's what really matters in games. Now, the gameplay is fun and addicting. It actually reminded me of another Insomniac game, Sunset Overdrive. Some rail grinding, the platforming, the action-packed goodness was absolutely reminiscent, and I loved it. The interesting thing about Ratchet and Clank is that it isn't the typical platformer. It's actually what I consider a third-person action-adventure game with some platforming elements. I know it sounds weird, but this version plays a lot quicker and more straightforward than I remember the older versions playing. Your main attack is to melee with a wrench, but you pick up various weapons, guns, and explosive weapons throughout the game as well. Now these all have limited amounts of ammo, so you'll have to pick and choose wisely which enemies you want to use them on. My favorite is called the Iser, which, as the name suggests, turns enemies into 8-bit appearance, you know what I mean? So everything has like this 8-bit appearance to it, and it looks really comical and kind of funny, and it fits in well with the atmosphere of the game. Now there's a wealth of amazing weapons to use throughout the game, and all of them are very, very fun and humorous to boot. Now the story serves as an introduction to everyone, or reintroduction to longtime fans of the series. Either way, you don't need to have played any of the games before to enjoy this version, and it ties in with the new movie launching very soon. So basically you get the origin story of how Ratchet met Clank, and it's stunningly packaged so that everyone can enjoy it from the start. The humor is what I love. It's very humorous, it's very warm, kind of, you know what I mean? A lot of people would maybe say it was kiddie, but I don't think it was kiddie. I think that it was kind of that Shrek way of telling a story where kids will probably enjoy it, but there's a lot for adults as well, and I think that that's hard to pull off, and Insomniac Games has done a really good job with that. Now, all in all, Ratchet & Clank might very well be the first real reason to own a PS4. Insomniac Games has delivered once again, and you will not be able to play this game without a huge smile on your face the entire time. And for those wondering, Ratchet & Clank can be beaten in around 10 to 12 hours, but there's added replay value and an added mode when you beat the game. Ratchet & Clank is definitely a must-own PS4 game, and at $40, it's a great value. Gamers, it might have taken a while, but greatness truly does await. Ratchet and Clank gets a fantastic 9.25 out of 10. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crapgamer out.